Even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. But sometimes fear clouds our vision. Sometimes our strength gives out. And yet sometimes when all seems lost, a light shines through the darkness. And we are reminded that even the smallest amount of courage can turn the tides of war.
Hello and welcome to 60 Second Gamer. I am Anthony Tremaine. With me we have Mr. Simon Pratt.
Hello.
Mr. Richard Hatton.
Good evening.
Oh, she said something. Oh, I say
She said something.
A rare treat.
She said
Fuck
something.
off. He's not going to say anything now for the whole podcast.
Are you grumpy,
No.
Mr. Hatton? Are you being the Grinch of the podcast? You don't know what to say to that,
She's
do you?
trying to resist. That said it all. We are here today.
I was going to help you talk about the game, but I'm not going to now.
Oh, fine.
Oh, very childish.
Oh.
Shall we not do the podcast, children?
No, goodbye. See you later.
No? Can I go home now?
No, you got to sit in the corner and think about what you did.
Fine.
Yeah. Just throw me completely off track now. I don't know where I'm going now. We are all gathered here today to talk about the Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon, the third and final part in the Legend of Spyro trilogy, which is essentially Lord of the Rings.
With dragons.
Yeah, with story. There is actually a bit
What
at the
they
end.
need? They need Sean Connery as a dragon. Oh no, they've done that in a film.
Yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me if they've actually tried, if they had tried to put him in there somewhere along the way. Somehow squeezing him in. The end level looks an awful... Well, there's a city. In fact, no, from the city onwards looks like... what's
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the last battle of and the Return of the King. I've forgotten where it was now. Minas Tirith, was it?
Minas Tirith.
Yeah. No?
I don't care.
Oh, no, sorry, no, yeah, no. Yeah, if you've seen Lord of the Rings, you know. If not, look it up, you'll know what I mean.
I'm drinking Dr. Pop.
Yes.
I don't care.
If you wondered what that fizzing sound was, it wasn't proud.
If there was a fizzing sound,
Fizzing.
this microphone is surprisingly sound absorbent.
Yes, it is. Well, it managed to pick up one of my farts in one of the other podcasts. I looked back, I heard him sort of stumble, and then I rewound it, turned it up, and I could hear it just faintly in the background. There she is.
Who's obviously in the direction of the microphone.
No, I was sat where you are now.
In the direction of the microphone.
Yes, I suppose.
Look
yeah.
where the microphone is, look where I am.
Yeah, smart arse. Yes, story-wise, it just takes it straight from the Eternal Night.
This has gone flat.
Ugh.
It's flat Dr. Pop.
Oh, that's a crime worthy of death, surely.
I only opened it yesterday. Why has it gone flat?
Ugh.
I'm upset now. Carry on.
Yeah, it's like when I bought some milk, the ones put it in the fridge and it went off the next day. Even though it had about 4 weeks left of its sell-by date, but hey ho, not good. Certainly didn't buy milk from there again. Can't remember what it was. But yes, it takes off directly from the end of the Eternal Night.
How do you know if you haven't bought it from there again?
Because I
If you can't remember
because
where
it was a while ago. I've slept and drank an awful lot since then. And I've lost where I was now.
Intro to the game, I think.
Your flat Dr. put me
Yeah.
off. Yes.
Most disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not going to say where it takes off from you because I've said that 3 times now. And you actually introduces Hunter into it as well, for those who know the original Spyro series quite well, and bring him in as a wise cheater as opposed to a reckless one, as he was in the very badly animated arrow that sort of diagonally flies at a creature called the Golem. Lord of the Rings again. But it also tries to be a bit more God of War in this one as well. He sort of like goes, oh yeah, here you go. Here's a load of enemies to get you back into the fighting, and here's an enormous boss for you to take out straight away. Almost exactly like every God of War game from number 2 onwards, I think.
I have to admit, this Spyro did look quite good in high def.
Yes, I will give it that. And they did put the effort in, and because it was 3 years in between the second one and that one, they actually made them look a bit older as well.
Mm.
Although how they'd have aged when they were frozen in that would have been a bit awkward, but never mind. But they did, but they put a bit more effort into this one. Because although the level you see in the review...
It's a bit like
Isn't
hand
that
frozen
pretty?
carbonite, because he still ages in there, doesn't he? Just very,
Yeah.
very slowly.
There must be a way around it somewhere, I'd imagine. But it's from the level you see in the podcast isn't the prettiest of levels, but there are some outdoor levels by rivers and forests that do look quite nice, as opposed to the big cave that's in that one.
Big cave.
And big cave indeed. But there was also the extra edition of co-op in this one as well, which was quite nice. You had players. Indeed, players could drop in and out as and when they desired. And you'd play as Cinder if you dropped in as player number 2, which was rather nice. But you couldn't go any further than a certain amount from each other because you had collars on that were restricting them together, which they got put on.
That
at the
get
very beginning.
irritating very quickly.
Yeah, especially when one person falls off, gets stuck underneath the level. I found this when I played it with someone who shall not be named, and no, it wasn't him. It was
Wasn't the silent grumpy one?
Someone else. No. Their first letter of their name's towards the end of the alphabet. But she got stuck underneath the level, and I couldn't progress until she managed to get herself unstuck, and in the end we just had to die and start that bit again. But never mind. As is the way of cheap.
That's bad game design.
Yeah, it was a bit. There are
as well.
some very dodgy bits where you get stuck in place and you go, oh, for Christ. And even when it's like the AI on their own as well, that can get a bit annoying. You go to progress and you sort of jump off, go to fly and you're sort of like hovering in midair and slowly sinking because the other person's still doing something behind, I don't know, taking a piss or something. You just cannot go forward, which gets a little annoying. But it's a novel idea. As Mr. Hatton has also experienced this one.
He's not talking.
He's not gonna talk to me now. I've upset him from the beginning. But yeah, he played half the game with me. I actually quite like the fact as well you saw more than just the one cheater. They showed the rest of his people as well, and sort of brought in different elements from the original. And Mark Hamill was in it as well, which was. Although you couldn't understand what he was saying because they put like a vocoder on him, so most of his lines. Pardon? With a bit of an evil cackle.
They could have got anyone to play that.
Yeah, exactly, but they had to get an A-lister in there because everyone else.
I wouldn't say
was.
Mark Hamill's an A-lister.
No, it was
Apologies to Mark
C-lister
Hamill.
maybe then. Yeah, I suppose.
He is a legend in his own field.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, he's certainly no Harrison Ford.
No, this is true. If you want to come and hunt Mr. Pratt down for saying such blasphemy, then you can't. Yes, quite. That died on its arse. I've lost what I was going to say now.
That's because one of us isn't talking.
Yes, one of us is disturbing the flow by not inputting.
Input,
into it.
Mr. Hatton. Input.
Yes, input.
Input.
I'll
Opinionate.
apologise for insulting you at the beginning if you input something.
Pontificate.
I apologise for insulting you at the beginning, Mr. Hatton.
Do you mean it?
Yes. Cross my heart and hope to die.
What more do you want? Do you want blood?
I think I prefer the silence in that case.
He wants blood.
Yes. He's not.
So which artery do you want?
You can have Prow's blood, not mine.
No.
You
Here
want-
comes the little aeroplane.
Blood everywhere. Yes. No, still not. Okay. Never mind then. But he has played it as well.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. You've played it as well. What did you
Your
think
opinion
of it?
on the game.
Yes.
I've never
you've
played it.
No, you have. You've played half of it before.
I've
Yes.
seen you play it, and I've already opinionated as best I can.
Yes. You played half of it in towards the end.
Yes. I did.
Not gonna. No.
The end boss was shit.
Yeah, the end boss was
Was
awful.
it platformitis?
No, it was
Let's go
just.
rid of that.
It was typical. Oh, there goes the difficulty through the roof, and like even more
Oh,
so.
so it's like an Everest.
Yeah.
Like a nice country amble
Yeah,
and then
it was,
a mountain.
it was horrible. It was like you to
A
begin
sheer
with.
cliff face.
Yeah, I mean, you fought him in mid-air to begin with, and he sort of shot stuff at you that most of the time was unavoidable. And then it changed to a different platform. I think you were on a floating bit of his fortress, I can't remember. And that was pretty crap as well. And then
Why do
eventually...
dragons need a fortress?
T-virus.
It's a bit like saying, why does Superman need a fortress of solitude?
It's a bit like saying, why do dragons need a city? Which they have, called something
because
Claw,
they've been-
Dragon Claw, I think.
They've been anthropomorphized to have personality, therefore they're going to do what people do.
Yes, common people.
Yeah.
Live like...
They want to live like common
Yes.
people. They want to do what...
Ever common people do.
Oh my god, Spock.
No, I don't know. It's just their way of possibly ripping off Lord of the Rings. Because it was above a volcano.
With a dragon.
Yeah, so it was just their way of going, oh yeah, here we go, let's stick a bit more of Return of the King in there and shove Mordor in there as well, for the love of it. But there were some impressive set pieces in it though, I will admit, although there were bits where like you had to destroy these crystals on a destroyer. I don't know if you remember that bit. You had to fly around this massive monster finding crystals to destroy. And they were very, very difficult to actually find because there was no indication as to where they were.
Can't you slow down time in this one as well? Is that one of the other two?
No, that was the second one.
Is that the second one?
I forgot to mention that in the podcast before. My bad.
No.
But they, for some reason, they didn't bring
I
that
just
back.
remembered it. It was like, oh, I've got a point. It's wrong game.
Yeah. No, I don't know why they didn't bring that back actually, because that did come in handy an awful lot in the second game.
Yeah,
Didn't-
because they designed it to be handy.
Yeah, it didn't stop his platformitis though, unfortunately. Even in slow motion, he still slowly trotted off the edge of a platform to his death.
As we saw when you captured
Yeah, just wouldn't stop. But like it was, no, they got rid of the platformitis, which was good. They actually stopped it, and the another redeeming factor was the soundtrack was just as equally as good as the previous two. And as I said in the other two the podcast for the other two, I cannot pronounce the composer's last name.
Is it the same one?
Yes,
ones.
same two people.
Same pair.
Yes, and they also did a duet song at the end of it, which was almost like almost a Nightwish ballad in a way. It was quite good. Sort of along those lines, yeah. Big cheesy ballad, which worked quite well at the end. Although I think they sort of programmed it a bit wrong in the credits because it finished and then it started again and then stopped when it got halfway through it, and then some of the music came in and you're like, oh, you didn't double check that before you released it, did you? You just went
You're
for
a
it.
naughty coder.
Yeah, naughty. And Sparks' voice changed again.
Ah.
I think it was, no, it wasn't Billy West, that was the second one.
Wayne Brady.
That's
Wayne
the bugger. Wayne Brady in
Wayne
this one,
Brady.
who was equally,
Wayne Brady.
unfortunately, was fed just as equally annoying lines as the other the two actors were, unfortunately. But, nah, what are you going to do? Sack your writer, that's what I say.
Or just sack the character.
You can't get rid of Sparks.
Can.
He's been in all, well, you can make him mute.
Like you would in the first.
Yeah, like he was in the
Sparks.
first few. Although, like, they tried to make him talk in the third one, and he sort of just went, which was better because he wasn't half as annoying though. He was actually quite amusing, but it was awful in these three games. Never make him talk. It doesn't.
It's only
work.
like the fairies in Zelda.
Yeah, well, what?
They don't talk.
Yeah.
They
What?
just
Talk?
go,
Yeah, that's better.
That sounds a bit like the Assassin's Creed music, you know, we're being chased.
Okay. But yeah, so if you're listening and you want to make another one, developers, don't make Sparks talk ever.
Don't make any more Spyro.
That may be a bit harsh.
Yeah, although they did cancel the film, they were going to base a film on somehow all three of the trilogy, or that's what I heard.
There's a desperate attempt to create another PlayStation icon.
Yeah, and
Yeah, where like Sega had Sonic, Nintendo had Mario.
well, they had Crash Bandicoot as well. That's the
Yeah.
problem, and they've even
Well, he's
managed
been
to. They've mould
ground
him
into the
to
dirt.
it. Yeah.
But that's because Naughty Dog are doing much better things.
Yes, Naughty Dog have moved on. They've let go.
It's nice to know that Naughty Dog's games are still well regarded, past and present.
It'd be nice to know if Naughty Dog returned to Crash Bandicoot actually, but
I don't think
That's
No.
I think they're
I
too.
don't think they develop it anymore.
all
No,
the
they
games,
don't. No, they stopped a long time ago.
all the games since Naughty Dog left it.
I think it was Crash Team Racing or Crash Bash was the last one.
Crash
they
Team
did.
Racing and Crash Bash are both Naughty Dog, and
They were
since
quite
then,
good.
Since then, from like the PS2, no,
I haven't
just
played
not
any.
good.
I haven't played any more after that. Funnily enough, I
Yeah.
just didn't bother. That was probably a sign that I lost interest in it.
Yeah, not worth the hassle.
No, I mean, it's as with Spyro. I mean, that's sort of gone for. I think the first one was 98, I think. So it's been going 1 or 2 years. So they've had plenty of time to try and perfect it. It's not like they've only had a couple of like months to do it. So I don't know what their excuse is now. They've been going for over 10 years. They've got
Yeah.
more than enough time. Perhaps it is time to let the purple dragon go. Or
Let him
That sounds
float
like-
off.
yeah, let him glide away because he can't quite
Let
fly.
let the purple dragon go. Sounds like a euphemism.
Let your purple dragon go. No, I mean,
Stop.
they even cancelled the film, which is a sign, I reckon.
That's no guarantee. I mean, they've given away the rights recently, or sold the rights for a Roller Coaster Tycoon movie.
Oh, what? Okay.
Doesn't guarantee it's going to be made.
No,
They've
but
still sold the rights.
yeah. But I think maybe they're trying to wean Spyro out because there's been no news of a new Spyro game at all.
No.
And Dawn of the Dragon came out 2 years ago, I think, and there's been no news of a new
Depends
one
how
since
well
then.
it's sold. Maybe if they brought it back with move-enabled
Oh
capability.
God, I hope not.
3D
3D
graphics.
3D.
Bog off. No, I think when they cancelled the film, there might be a thing that they're trying to stop it. Maybe they just don't want any more Spyro
Right, if the
anymore.
games aren't up to scratch.
No, they didn't do very well. I don't think the third one didn't anyway. Because I think after the second one, people sort of gave up. I stuck with it though. I gave it a chance. Unfortunately,
For what it's worth.
yeah, it was still mediocre at best, but never mind. But no, and plus the film was going to be produced by the bloke who did Aragon,
Yeah.
and that's not a good thing at all. Because if he was going to do it, he would have shat on it royally and ripped off Star
Completely
Wars.
and utterly.
Yes, he would have ripped off even more than just Lord of the Rings, like Aragon did,
Yeah.
and got terrible actors, of which the lead actor then went back to being a bricklayer because he was that crap. But never mind. Right, that'll. Is there any other thoughts?
About the game or generally?
Yeah, either one. You take your pick.
I do not like Brussels sprouts.
There you go. On that bombshell, we shall close. If you wish to email us about anything at all, the email is info@randomstute.com. And what?
You can also get us on, search for Random Stone on Facebook.
Ah, yes.
Facebook fan page, and we've also got me on Twitter, where I tweet about our various projects, basically just do updates and blah blah blah, and that is Huge Green Burger. That's Huge, green as in the colour and burger as in the food.
Yes, and if you wish to listen to the themes on these shows even more, I will be putting them on my own personal MySpace, probably soon, or if they're not already on there,
Yeah.
whichever one, which is MySpace /
MySpace.com.
Yes, MySpace.com / Anthony Tremaine. I may make them available for download.
You still use MySpace.
I know, yeah, old school I am. I may put them up for download if anyone really wants them that bad, but it depends how nice I'm feeling. I might be in a bad mood when I do them.
And it depends what feedback you get. And,
Yes,
if someone gives you a thumbs down,
Then I definitely won't be putting them up for
No.
download. They will be staying in my keep only. Unless someone knows of a way of getting them off otherwise. But I highly
it's
doubt it.
rather easy if you know how.
Bugger. I'll have to find this out off you because I may need to nab stuff myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of this piracy talk.
Yeah.
And yes, that was all. Yeah. Buy it if you really want it, if you like Spyro. If not, don't. Bye.